shit ain't only a semi, nigga. SQ1, nigga. Niggas ask why I think I'm the best. Cause I'm real shit, I ain't got guess. On my man, got a rock with a beam and a scope. It'll knock me a bird out of nest. Think I'm capping, nigga, give me a test. Break whoever, nigga, send me your best. Loaded weapon, I'm like 007. I'm finished, I'm missing the ass, so who's next? Staycation, I was locked in the cell. Losing patience, but I had to prevail. Ain't no sleeping cause I'm constantly thinking and nights in that bitch and got hotter than hell. I got problems that they ain't gonna fix. All these sucker niggas ain't gonna mix. Quarterback and when they gave me a sack to my niggas, I thought let them catch them like pigs. Say loyal, but that shit ain't a lie. Hot, cold, yeah, my shit like a rock. Truck smell cause the nigga a block. When you up, he gon' turn like the hands on the clock. Eyes open cause you just got see. Staying focused there, where did I be? Ask my city, they gon' say you see and I started it.
What's happening? You know the vibes and the energy, man. We are at it. I told you it was coming, man. We had a little bit of technical difficulties at first when we was doing the test run, so we decided to just say fuck it and go live. It's your boy, Samson the Badguy, none other. You already know the vibes and the energy, man. It didn't, don't get no better than that. And with me right here, you can see, I told you my co-pilot was coming. Man, I told you she was coming. Miss Dope Visuals herself. So dope visuals herself. It's my homegirl, Steph, man. Let the people know who you are. We're going to get right into it. Let them know what you do. Let them know your whole background so they know exactly who I'm with and who I'm talking to.
Okay, well, first of all, I'm not usually on this side of the camera, so, but I'm Stephanie. I'm the sports editor at the Star Exponent. I do the photography, videography, all that for high school, middle school, local leagues. That's pretty much it.
So, right off the rip, so dope visuals.
Yeah.
That's your photography, your videos, your edits, and all that good stuff. Make sure y'all follow her on Instagram. And we're going to get into her Instagram. She's going to tell you exactly what her Instagram is. But the name, right?
Yeah. Do you know what it is?
No, I don't. Why so dope visuals? Because it sounds just simple. So dope visuals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like LLR, local locker room, right? So what is the symbol? Like, what is the symbol? What is the meaning behind the name? Like,
All right,
why did you go with so dope visuals?
All right, what's my name?
Stephanie
And last name?
Ollinger.
And that is?
S-O, so
Dope.
Stephanie Ollinger,
Right.
Dope Visuals. And they can find you on Instagram where?
It's at @so_dope visuals.
At @so_dope visuals. I'm repeating it because by the time we get off of here, I'm going to forget it. So make sure you go follow right now on Instagram, man. Let's see who we got in here so far. My man Derek's in here. Tyler White's in here. Gino's in here. What's happening, man? Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it's going to be. I told you that the podcast was coming. You see it is here. We're going to be touching and talking about a lot of different things. The episode's going to pop off. We're going to be going live. At first, we were going to record it, edit it, but then, she got here. She got in the cave. We recorded 30 minutes worth, and my simple ass didn't turn the microphone on. Didn't turn the microphone on, so she said, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's go live. So we're going to do a quick test run live right here, man. We do have a topic that we're going to talk about and we're going to get into. And it's a very touchy topic. It's an old topic.
Mm-hmm.
But some people still feel like it's a touchy topic. Youth football.
Sports.
Youth sports.
Sports.
That's 3 times you corrected me with that. I don't know if it's the drink or... But anyway. Youth sports. Youth sports, man. Youth sports. Does the youth sports reflect the future of the high schools in its area? What we mean by that is multiple things, right? If you have a bad youth program, is the high school going to be bad? Youth sports, should there be a gap? And who should bridge that gap between youth sports and high school? Steph, being on all the sidelines when it comes to sports, lacrosse, soccer, basketball, football, softball, you name it, right? Mm-hmm. In the Culpeper area. So you know a lot that's going on in the Culpeper area. There's, like, to say that you know what you're talking about would be an understatement. All right? Y'all know how I feel about myself in the youth football. It just, I don't want to hear it. It is what it is. I know what I'm talking about. Been there, done that, seen that. It is what it is. So when we say that, what do you feel is more important? Do you feel it's more important for there to be structure within the programs, feeder program per se, or do you feel it's more important for the high school coaches to get out and make that happen? Like, who's responsible for making sure that there's a bridge from the youth program to the high school program?
Oh man, I think it's both ways. I think if you're a high school coach, you need to be involved with the youth programs.
Right.
Because one, like you said before, but when we had technical difficulties, they need to see that you're out there, but you also need to see them. And you need to see what you're going to have coming up.
Because that plays a big factor.
Right.
Great point. Great point. Because that plays a huge factor, right? Mm-hmm. How can I, and I've said this for years. I've said this for years, and I stand on this. As a high school coach, it makes your job easier when you know exactly what's coming into your system, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to talk. I'm going to give a positive. I'm going to give a weak example, mm-hmm. and then I'm going to give a strong example, right? So I'm going to start with the weak example. Fauquier County. We have a rec program, but it's not. It's not a deep in talent rec program. It's not like it used to be. It's not as strong as it used to be. They travel a little more now to play games and whatnot. They're in the Apple Valley League. So it's not producing as much strong talent as it once was, mm-hmm. right? And anybody that lives in the Fauquier area, you might get in your feelings. I really don't care. The truth is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. Like, look at the kids that was coming out of that league as to what comes out of that league now. Like, the proof is in the pudding. So, on top of not having a strong rec league, they don't have a strong travel program no more. Mm-hmm. There's no Wolfpack no more. You know, Wolfpack used to be the travel program that allowed the kids to get out here and play against the other talent. It was a little stronger, right? They don't have that anymore. You understand what I'm saying? So, their kids are coming straight from rec ball, not a strong rec league, straight from rec ball, and going into varsity football. And I don't speak kids' names if I haven't talked to their parents, but there's a kid that played at Fauquier who went straight from rec, backup quarterback of rec, played behind AP. Mm-hmm. Wasn't even a starter. You follow me? But went straight from rec to the starting quarterback in high school. And then when he doesn't have a great season, everybody wants to yell at him, and that's not the case. He's a good quarterback. Mm-hmm. He just won't ready. There was like, you didn't even let him go across the bridge. You just kind of like shot him out of a catapult across the river from rec to high school. So he just wasn't ready. But then, so when you look at that, you don't got a strong rec league. You don't got a strong travel league. You don't got middle school football. I'm speaking football right now. You don't have middle school football. So what is there? How do you, like, there's no gap there. So of course, if your rec program is weak, and that's the only thing before high school, what do you expect your high school to be?
And then if you have a kid that's good, that they're traveling young to go play somewhere else, odds are they're not going to go to that high school. Because if you're not helping them out when they're younger, why are they going to go to a high school?
What reason are they going to come back?
Right.
I was shocked when Brett came back. I was extremely, I'm going to be honest with you. In fact, I was asked if I thought he would come back, and I said no. Why would he? Now, granted, Brett's going to be Brett wherever he plays. He's one of them. He's a Himothy. Like, he's going to be good wherever he plays, but you're right. What's going to keep me here? Even as a parent, why am I going to leave my child here or bring him back here after having him play travel somewhere else and playing against this competition and knowing that he's head and shoulders above the other kids in his class? Why would I bring him back here to play on that team?
Because then the people around him aren't
as good.
Right.
And if you're a kid, so let's say this, right? Hypothetically speaking, that works both ways, because if you got a kid that's in the school, he's already there, he's already playing high school ball, and he's got a year or two left, and then he's looking at what's coming in, what's going to make him stay there if he knows what's coming in just ain't it? Mm-hmm. So, like, I feel like the high school coaches got to bridge that gap. Hold on. We got a couple comments.
Yeah, we didn't have this before, so.
We got a couple comments. Jarvis said, what we talking about? Tank said, taking notes right now. We'll talk with you later. Lowe said, that's why Culpepper's going to struggle. All the talented kids going to go play high school elsewhere. So it's parents. Mind you, his son is 10. Juju's 10. Mm-hmm. That's a parent of a 10-year-old saying that. So why would he even... So that's already letting you know that what we're talking about is factual, right? Because there's some people that's going to disagree with us. We already know that. But you got a 10-year-old parent that lives in the area, right? And the 10-year-old... What up, Los? What's happening with you? You got a 10-year-old parent who lives in the area, right? His son could possibly go here, right? So they're already saying that they know Culpeper football is going to be horrible because all the talent. And on that age group, 9, 10 years old, Maddox, my nephew Dre, little Travis, Los's son, Devin's son, Hayden. Mm-hmm. That's 5. 5 that I right off top of my head that are in the same class, like as far as graduation class, that are all playing travel ball elsewhere.
And that have probably already thought about where they're going to play.
That's probably already looking at where I'm going to play at.
Right.
Think about that. Again, Maddox, Trey, Lil Travis, Juju, my man Patrick's son. Dog, I can literally say her name about 7 or 8 kids that are good players that there's a strong possibility will not play in Culpeper. Mm-hmm. So as a high school coach, right, if you know this, why are they not? Christian, yeah, I forgot about Christian who wouldn't play with Chris. Tank said it's 11 of them.
And it's not new, though. It's not like this is just something.
This isn't new.
It's because I'm going to throw it out there, even back when Eli and Malik were playing, they looked to go elsewhere.
Because it wasn't even fun.
Right.
It wasn't even fun. If I'm playing in a league that has the 3 touchdown rule, and I score my 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, the game is no longer fun to me. So it makes sense. So I got to ask, should Big Red's from Culpeper? I thought he's from Stafford. No, he wouldn't play to Stafford. Dog, the numbers is going... That could be all on one team.
Right.
We went from 5 to 11 to 12, 13, 14. That could all be like literally like the team I had at Liberty. Justin, Trayvon White, the Hicks twins, Lil Freddie, Dalton Blankenship, Jackson Eichert, Derek, Derek. Like that team, them kids went on to play. Brian Barnes, I can name them for days. They went on to play at Liberty. Liberty goes undefeated their senior year. They go undefeated. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people are going to look at what we're saying and they're going to say, oh, they're just talking shit. He's talking shit again. He just don't like us. No, the proof is the proof. We can leave Falk here. Let's go to Culpeper. Mm-hmm. Let's look at Eastern View. Far more dominant than Culpeper. Let's call it what it is. Because CC gets a lot of your local rec kids. You look at Eastern View's roster over the past few years, a lot of their key players were travel football kids.
Well, and also if you look at their roster, a lot of them played together at a young age. Stayed together.
So with that being said, again, like this year's class coming up, that was our tournament team. Them kids have been playing football together. And I know people say, well, it's just for tournaments. But when you're playing 3 or 4 tournaments at the end of the season and you're guaranteed at least 2 games, 2 times 4 is 8. That's a regular season, right?
Right.
So they're playing a lot of football together. And then once we leave the fall, we go into 7-on-7. These guys have played a lot of football together. So I can't seem to understand why the high school coaches don't get more involved physically. Because there's a difference between getting involved physically and verbally, right? I can sit here and talk to you, the board of this youth program, all day long about what we could do and, you know, da-da-da-da. But if I'm not at the field, how do they know how to...
Well, and it's not just football either, though, because if you break it down basketball-wise, you got coaches who coach a specific way. But if you don't look and see what you have coming up, those kids may not fit what system you have.
What system you have.
So if you have to see what kids you have. You can't just, okay, well, I run this, so this kid's going to go into this. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to see what you have.
Not only that, how am I going to build a bond with mom? Mom don't know who I am. I've never been to the field. Her kids didn't play youth football from 6U all the way up to 13. She's never seen the head coach. Mm-hmm. How can you expect the parents to buy into your system if they don't even know who you are?
Well, and again, this goes for any sport, but if you're the head coach and you want your program to be successful, you should want to go out there and see what you have. You should want to start making relationships early.
I agree. It makes sense.
I'm just saying.
Like so now we've talked about the week, right? We talked about how a weak youth program reflects a weak school program. It's a fact. Mm-hmm. The opposite side of that, right? And people can feel how they feel, but at the end of the day, we all know that freedom, and I've said it before, you're going to feel how you feel. I don't care. You can hate the man. You got to respect the structure, right? Freedom, back-to-back state champs. Mm-hmm. And we're not going to act like they wasn't a strong, successful team before the back-to-back state champs. They were still making it to the playoffs. I think Coach Chris Davis just posted the banner. There's a lot of dates on there. You get what I'm saying? It ain't just the last 2 years. They just happened to win the state championship the last 2 years. But look at where those kids came from. We talked about it earlier. Mm-hmm. You remember them kids from when I had the Kings and had to play against them.
Right. When you had to travel a league, we played in Orange, and then it was like the whole Freedom team. And it was
basically
it was
those kids.
It was cold. I remember I was
freezing cold.
And
so again, that's a prime example of that's an example of how strong a strong youth program feeding into a high school eventually ends up making the high school a strong program. It's a fact. It can't be denied, right?
Right.
We know that it can't be denied. My question with that, right? How do you feel? What do you feel the steps are that a high school coach could take to building that bridge? Like, what are some of the key things you feel they have to, put the head coach hat on. What do you yourself as a head coach do if you know that bond ain't there right now and you're coming in and you know that the morale is down, you know that you just lost a lot of great kids, you got to build the morale up with the younger kids. You see that your next few years ain't that strong. What do you do as the head coach of the team? Like, how do you build that morale up?
I mean, first of all, I feel like if you're talking about youth,
right,
you have to get out to the fields. Like, you have to actually physically go out there and see what's out there. And then you have to go and you have to talk to people.
All the years you've been on the sideline with that camera. Mm-hmm. How often? Because you're not just at the high school games. You're at the youth fields. Mm-hmm. Some of the kids graduating this year, you've been shooting them. And I know that for a fact because, again, we talked about it, and I can say his name. He's one of my nephews. The article you wrote, Jay Will, mm-hmm. was like 10 years old. He was the cover picture.
Those are my middle school babies. They were, well, they might have been 5th grade when I started. So they still in CFA. Yeah, they were in CFA because I just sent Jay Will a video that I found on my old computer of him.
So in all your years, we're talking years because he's 16 now, 17 now, getting ready to graduate. That's a lot of years.
Probably about 18. 18?
18. Jay Will, 8. God.
Or he's going to be 18.
That's where that gray hair came from on this side. So in all your years of being out there on the sideline, in youth football, how often have you seen a high school head coach out there? And we can't count Hatfield because Hatfield coach. I knew you was going to go there with that. I knew you was going to go there with Hatfield. Because Hatfield coached, so he had to be there. He coached. But I like...
But that he was.
That's a great example.
Right. He was.
So we
that's
got
what I
to
was
use
gonna say.
Hatfield.
That's what I
We
was gonna
got to use Hatfield because that's a great example.
Because
Hatfield coached
and played
14 district titles in 14 years at Eastern View.
Right. So he saw all the CFA kids. Even if he didn't coach them, he played against them.
He knew what was coming in.
Or coached against them, not played against them.
He knew what was coming in. That is a prime example. That is a great example. Hatfield coached in the youth program. His high school program was successful. Over 10 and 90% of his staff at Freedom High School coaches in youth football. So they know what's coming in before they get there. So again, we're giving the pudding. They say the proof's in the pudding. I ain't gonna say call me Bill because he's going through some shit right now. But the proof is literally in the pudding.
But like I said, that's for all sports. It's
All sports.
It's not just football.
Not just football, but all sports. You have to be involved, right?
Right.
Eastern View basketball program been pretty strong past few years, right?
And look at how many of those kids play AAU together. So
back over the years, we're not even just talking about right now. Scooter Pollard used to coach travel ball, and he's a coach on the high school program. Mm-hmm. So again, that's another example of a coach who is involved in the youth program and the high school program, and you see how it translates. So it only makes sense. So it just sucks that some of these coaches don't do it. I've been in youth football since 2010. The only high school coach, and I've been around the field a lot. I used to be over here at the flag fields. Jennifer Doris used to run a great flag league. My brother Doc used to coach over there. Rodney used to coach over there. And a lot of good kids played in it. A lot of good kids. And I used to go to her field every weekend, even if I wasn't coaching. I cannot lie. Finn is the only coach that I've seen at the youth field. And he has successful teams, and he's having a successful program over there now. Finn does the 7-on-7 over there at Patriot every year, the high school 7-on-7. So he knows what his kids can do. He has that relationship with them. So do you feel like building bonds with your players?
Yeah, I feel like you have to relate to your kids. And that's a big part of it.
Uh-oh. We got a little bit. Uh-oh. Derek Knighting said, Fall Care has a great system in place, and no way does it get taken advantage of in any way that I can tell. They have a Falcons, Eagles, and Cougars. The involvement isn't there. Jarvis agrees. So Fall Care, what he's speaking on is, and I like the way they have it set up.
You can even scroll back up to Tank's comment as well.
Tank's comment, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I feel left out. I need a...
Well, here you go. I got you. Let's do it. You know, we can make it do what it do. That's what we do. Hold on.
Kind of just touch bases on like Junior Blue Devils, Junior Cyclones.
So that's what Derek. Okay, so then his comment. So then Tank's comment, pretty much, is the same thing Derek is saying. So there's a program. The coaches don't want to spend time out of what they're doing. However, they only shoot themselves in the facts, Selena. Big facts. So what Tank and Derek is saying, and FYF does have the structure, and that's why I said I'm not going to say that the program, FYF, the program is bad. It's just the talent pool is weak that comes out of it. Because the structure that FYF has, I feel like, is a great structure, right? It's the same. So FYF has the same structure as Jefferson District League, where the schools mimic and represent. I mean, the teams mimic and represent the high school in that area. So So FYF has in each age group that they have, I want to say it's odd numbers. Derek could correct me on that.
And they travel to the different.
And they travel, so they are in the Apple Valley League, which is just like the Jefferson District League, where they travel to different. And so FYF has that, right? The only thing that I feel that doesn't happen is, and they say that it does, it just doesn't show, or maybe it does show, because again, the youth teams aren't that good, and then the high schools aren't that good. My thing is, if you're a high school coach, whatever sport, and I'm the youth coach, and my team is mimicking your high school, I should run your offense. I should run your defense, whatever sport it is. You get what I'm saying? Because those kids on my team are coming, all of these kids, the way they have it, all of these kids are supposed to come to your school. You know what I'm saying? So like they have a FYF Eagles for Liberty, FYF Cougars, Kettle Run, FYF Falcons, Fauquier. So the kids on the team are supposed to be supposedly zoned for that area, right? To me, if you're not running the same system, it's not a feeder program.
Right.
And that's the same thing Tank's saying that Culpeper should do, which I brought it to Travis's attention, Travis Kilby. I brought this to Travis's attention when he was the president. Let's see what they're saying. Let's go to the comments real quick. Derek said you would keep your talent here if high school coaches got involved. Very true. They're agreeing with you.
Well, that's Curtis said the same thing for soccer too.
Well, see, this is so, and I'm gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. That'll be a topic for a later date, though. That'll be a topic for a later date. Travel versus rec. That's a good one because I see what the guy over there in Culpeper's doing. Yeah, buddy. And that's a valid point. That's a valid point. If the high school coaches got more involved, the kids would stay here. That's a valid point. I just feel like for your high schools to be successful, I feel that it is proven. It's not just an opinion. We just named guys. It's a proven fact that if your high school coaches are involved in the rec leagues, then the high school programs are stronger. It's a proven fact.
I mean, I agree.
It's a proven fact. So they can't say that we're wrong about that in any way, shape, or form, but they will. They always will. So I got to ask, so back to what I was saying. Bonds. Does building a bond affect it?
I mean, I think that has everything to do with it. I mean, you have to, if you're a coach, you have to be able to relate to your kids.
Right.
And if you can't, then you're not going to get the most out of.
But let's say relate. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate, right?
All right.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm not here to relate to the kids. I'm here to coach the kids.
Okay, but that's fine. But then you're not going to get the most out of them. I mean, because all you're worried about is if you're going to win or lose.
But that's what I'm here for.
Well, then that's not going to work. So you played high school football.
Yes.
All right. So if you think about a coach that had an impact on you.
Okay.
Who was it?
Sarantino. No question. Man went out of his way. Like I said, a lot of people don't know it. Like, I was playing high school ball as a freshman, got in a lot of trouble. He kicked me off the team. He didn't let me go, but he kicked me off the team. Told me that spring after the season was over, you need to be back out here. Like, he literally, when I told my brother Doc I wasn't playing football, like, I'm not playing football, I don't care. Sarantino was like, I'm coming to get you. Like, he literally drove from Lake of the Woods to Jefferson, and everybody knows how long of a ride that is.
Right.
Scooped us up to go to Woodbridge, because at the time 7-on-7 was going on in Woodbridge, North Stafford, and would take us to 7-on-7. After he did that, like, so many times, like, my mindset was, I'm playing football because of him. Like, he's the only reason I'm going to play.
So he went above and beyond.
Way above and beyond.
It made an impact on you.
Extreme impact.
If he told you to do something on the football field, what's your effort towards it?
I was out there trying to murder things.
Okay.
Because I knew Santino was going to be happy. Him and Bobby Jenkins. Him and Uncle Bobby go rest his soul.
So that wasn't somebody that's just, like you said, oh, I'm just here to coach.
Valid point. It makes a difference. And I agree with you, but I had to play devil's advocate. It was just only right. Because like I know there's coaches out here that they're there to coach. They're there to get a check.
But that's what people don't understand. It's more to coaching than just, okay, calling this play, calling that play. You have to relate to the kids.
Say it again. I didn't hear you.
You
You gotta relate. It's a mandatory. You have to relate to the kids. If you don't relate to your kids, they're not going to move mountains for you. It's just
Right.
that simple.
And you can't be like, oh, they need to respect me. You have to respect them too. It has to go both ways.
It goes hand. So you're saying that the respect goes hand in hand.
Right.
Kids are going to respect those who respect them.
Right.
And I can vouch for that because I always build a bond. You feel me? I always build a bond with my players. I feel like that is a mandatory thing. I feel like you have to do it. I feel like if you're not building a bond with your players, there's going to be days where they're going to half-ass it. There's going to be days where they say, well, coach don't care about me. All he care about is winning. Man, I don't feel like playing today.
Right.
But if you build a bond with them kids, then they're going to go through a brick wall for you. It's just that simple. And I can see it because I hear certain stories about certain kids, and it's like, what? Mm-hmm. I ain't never have a problem with that kid. And it makes you think, but I got a bond with that kid. I understand that kid, so it makes a difference. It does make a difference. And I feel like they do need the bond.
Because no one kid, kids aren't the same.
Right?
You can't coach this kid the same way you coach this kid.
Right.
Because they're two different people. And you, as a coach, you have to be willing to adapt to that kid.
Correct.
And that's my opinion. I'm not a coach, but...
Being on the sidelines,
mm-hmm.
What do you think the biggest... Because like you said, you can see it. You can see that some of them aren't relating to each other. I know on the sidelines on game day, you can see the tension. You can see which coaches care about the kids more than just winning. You can see, the tension. You're right there. And like I tell people all the time, when you look through that lens, you see everything. You see things some people don't want you to see. You see everything. So what do you feel like has been the biggest? What do you feel like has been the biggest separation between a player and a coach? What do you feel like causes the most friction on the sidelines of any sport between a player and their coach?
I'm trying to think of how to put this.
We're in the locker room. You just say it. You don't figure out how to put it. You figure that out later.
I feel like, and this is for all sports, but I feel like certain coaches have favorites. And kids see that. And, I feel like sometimes they think, okay, this kid can do this and get away with it, but if I do it, then it's going to be...
I hear those stories.
And again, it's for all sports.
Yeah,
It's like, okay, well, this person can do this and get away with it and not get in trouble. But if I go out here and do the same thing, then I'm going to face consequences.
So you think that causes more tension between the player and the coach or the player and another player?
I think it's more so the coaches because it's, why are you giving him special treatment,
And I'm not getting it.
But yet you're treating me this way?
Very valid. Selena said communication, and then she said AP just confirmed what you just said. So we know it's happening. We know for a fact it's happening. I know it's happening because I don't think that a lot of them understand that when I'm setting up in that bleachers, right? Mm-hmm. The higher you get up, it seems like the more the volume is turned up.
And I'm going to say something, and it might sound dumb because I'm not a coach, right?
Right.
But I'm on the sideline, I'm taking pictures, I'm doing video.
Okay.
And people are like, oh, how did you get that? How did you get that? So I'm around the kids.
Right.
I talk to them, I relate to them,
right.
All that. So when I see them on camera, it's almost like they come out of their shell. And they'll find me and they'll show emotion towards the camera versus If it's just some random person out there taking pictures, they're not going to be doing all that up in the
because that bond.
Right.
So that
so it's a different image. So what this person sees versus what I see are two different
you
things.
get the real.
Right.
You get the real because you have that bond.
Yeah.
You have that bond. That's crazy. So Jarvis has a question for you.
Oh God.
AP said it happens even during practice.
Right.
Ooh. Derek said favoritism is the root of all evil. So Jarvis said, ask you this. When you're on the sideline, can you tell which coaches are coaching and which coaches are just on the staff? Yo! Hey, yo, she just picked a job. So I guess that's your answer, Jarvis. I guess that's your answer. Oh, man, bro. Tank said, wait. The ugly truth is that happens on all levels. Yes, it does. Hey, Selena, Selena laughing. Listen, that. So I get it. That's the answer. Listen, nothing else even needs to be said. That's your answer.
The sad part is, I'm not talking about just once. This is all sports, and this is like what I just took a drink.
And y'all gotta understand, like when she says all sports, I don't think everybody understands. When she says all sports, like she literally be at like basketball, softball, lacrosse, baseball, football. Like she's there, soccer. She sees it. She's literally on the sideline. Like she's there.
So I see it in everything.
In every sport. That's why, and it's so funny because when people be like, oh, it's football, no. I just talk about football. She's saying it from every sport. It's happening in every sport.
Because that comment, can I see what coaches are just there? If you're a coach, and say you're coaching basketball.
Right.
And you're just sitting there like this, and you don't do nothing.
Don't say a word.
What are you there for?
What are you
Why are you there?
The check. The little, and this is the thing. People say, this is the bull that people say, right? People say, oh, it ain't that much. It's enough for you to sit there every week. It's enough for you to go to practice and then sit there on game day. Listen, to me, a coach cannot be around their sport, right? To me, a coach, a true coach that's coaching for the passion of the game, that's coaching to coach the kids. Of course, you should be compensated for your time. I get it. But if you're really coaching, and you're really dug into this thing, and you're coaching, there's no way a coach of their sport can be around their sport, whether it's a practice or it's a game, and just sit there and not say nothing.
And you see it a lot.
I went to UVA spring practice. This week, and I had to catch myself because, like, they gave me a VIP pass. So, like, I'm literally on the field. Like, at one point, I'm standing right next to the linebacker coach while he's running the drill. And I'm just standing there, and I'm like, and then I'm on the sideline with my kids, and I'm coaching them up on the sideline. Like, so when I see coaches, I agree. I'll be in the stands sometimes looking at some of the coaches like, look at this shit here. They ain't coaching nothing.
I mean, if you're sitting there like this collecting a check, I can sit there like this and collect one too.
And collect one too.
I mean,
it makes no sense. So, like, my whole thing is, I agree with you. Coaches that are just sitting there and they're not there coaching, they gotta go. Then, hey, Curtis, say it, Curtis. Lowe said a coach told his 10-year-old last year, figure it out. But then they wonder why the kids are leaving. So many kids are leaving our area, and it's not new. Like, they've been doing it. So many kids are leaving our area. The coaches in our area, they have to get more involved.
And how many coaches... Okay, maybe I shouldn't say this.
No, you should say it.
Okay.
Because you already started
How
saying
many coaches, though, and again, this isn't one sport I'm talking about, are don't want what's best for the kid and are undercover haters towards certain kids. I can't see comments, so.
Jarvis says such and such school has hired a new head coach. I can hear it in the comments. Y'all are wild. I think it's a lot.
I think so too.
I think it's a lot. When I see coaches move a kid out of a position that he's been in for most of his career, his high school career, male or female, like you said, any sport, if you've had a kid playing in a position and they're getting love in that position, and then all of a sudden you move them to another position because that's just where you want to put them, that's got a touch of hate, right? Because why would you wait? Like, if you felt that's where they should have been, they've been with you all this time. 3 years now they've been with you. If you felt like they should have been there, why would you wait till their senior year to move?
I mean, yeah.
Because I told you that last year about a move that a lot of people didn't pick up on. When they moved them from the one spot up to the other spot. You're getting it. The smile's coming. Yeah. And I didn't understand it then. And to me, I feel like it hurts you more than it helps you, because moving you, playing you out of position, you're not going to look as good. So if you're not helping me, you're what? You're hurting me. So when I see a coach do that, I think it is a little low key. I think it is, man. I think I've seen parents. Selena said it happened to them at Liberty. And Selena, you damn right, and I'm gonna speak on that because y'all ain't there no more. They told these dumb asses. They told, and I've spoken on this before, and I'm glad she said that because now I got the chance to say names. They told AP, these dumbasses told AP that he would never play quarterback because he's a lineman, and kept trying to force him to go to the lineman drills until they forced him out of the door.
And now look.
And now look. Hold on though. The ironic part on that, and then we're gonna go out on this one. I believe the coach that said that about him is actually not coaching now, and AP's actually playing quarterback now.
And AP's not just playing quarterback.
He's playing that.
He's the
He's
quarterback.
the guy. So the one you told couldn't play the spot is not only playing the spot, but he's that guy in that spot. And you, the coach,
And as a freshman,
are no longer that guy.
As a freshman, came into a playoff game.
Let me get that.
And helped to bring them and almost win the game.
Let me get that. Speaks for itself.
Right.
Listen, you coaches, don't look at this and get mad. Look at this and understand what we're telling you, man. Look at this and understand what we're telling you. You see parents telling you in the comments. You see us talking about it. We've used great examples. You have to get more involved in these youth programs. You have to get heavily involved. Heavy involved. Not just through your mouth, pause, but physically. Get involved in these youth programs and know what you got coming your way. Know your athletes. Know your student athletes, man. Listen, this was just a test. This was just a test run. Steph The Badguy. Behind the mic in front of the lens. This was just a test run, man. We got a lot more coming up. We got guests that we're going to have on weekly. We're going to have different topics that we're going to have weekly. And we're going to have different games weekly. Like the game we're getting ready to play right now, speed round. We're going to go out with the speed round. We're going to go out with the speed round. We're going to go out with the speed round. So listen, in the speed round, she's going to say one word. I got to say one word that matches, that basically what I think when she says that one word. Then I'm going to throw one at her and vice versa. Anything goes. Listen, don't get in your feelings. I'm going to tell you right now, get in a book. You start first.
I'm going to go with the one I already said.
All right.
LeBron James.
Flopper. Coach Prime.
Beast.
Okay.
Oh, it's my go, isn't it? Dre.
Asshole. All right. Photography.
Easy.
Oh, okay. One more round. You go, I go.
I'm not gonna do it.
Go, no, do it.
No,
go.
no.
Okay.
No, I'll save it.
All right.
Bingo.
Pull tabs. All right, I got one for you. I'm gonna do it. Dallas. Roy.
I was gonna say Cowboys.
But you still can. That's his team.
Okay.
Cowboys. Listen, man, y'all know what it is, man. Again, this was a test run. Make sure y'all tap in with us. We're going to be live every Sunday. It's going down right here, local locker room, behind the mic, in front of the lens with Steph and the bad guy. You know the vibes, you know the energy, man. We're going to get up out of here. But before we do, I got to let y'all go. Again, every week I'm going to play music. So if you're a local artist, man, make sure you tap in. This week we came in with him. We're going to go out with him. None other than my guy, my homie, Young Rue, man. Make sure y'all tap in. Young Rue Tap Scott, man. He got some good old songs that he played back in the day. But we're going to go out right now with Young Rue. First day out, man. I think. I hope. You know the vibes and the energy, boy. Y'all know I don't do nothing right on the first try. Again, this is a test run. But with that being said, man, we up out of here, man. Young Rue, man.
Niggas ask why I think I'm the best. Cause I'm real shit, I ain't got guess. On my man, got a walk with a beam and a scope. It'll knock me a bird out of nest. Think I'm capping, nigga, give me a test. Bring whoever, nigga, send me your best. Loaded weapon, I'm a 007. I finished a mission, I ask who next.